Hey guys, Paul from Journey for Petrolhead. Today we're looking at a 2008 Mercedes CL 500. So this is the CL Coupe based on the S-Class. It was launched 2006, started for sale in 2007 and sold up to 2014, this particular range. It came in a variety of engine sizes. This particular one has the 5.5 litre V8. 400 horsepower as near as makes no difference. The official figure is 388, and it's got 530 newton meters of torque, coupled out an automatic transmission, and it just takes off when you want it to. It's got manual mode, sport mode, and comfort mode. Even in comfort mode, it's quite a cruiser and it'll eat distances without worrying about it too much. But in sport mode, it just turns into a small GTI, just foot down, off you go. This particular one is not the 4MATIC version. The 4MATIC is four-wheel drive automatic in Mercedes speak. This is not the 4MATIC version. This is a rear-wheel drive CL 500. It's kind of the base entry model, if you like. And these things cost somewhere around 180 grand when they were new. That's an awful lot of money. This is a 2008 model, so she's 12 years old, and it hasn't really aged much. Being Mercedes build quality, built on the legendary S-Class saloon, which introduces all the new technology and all the good toys, and is very, very well built. This is back to Mercedes building their cars properly. Is a really, really nice place to spend time. It drives really well, and surprisingly, for a 5.5 litre V8 engine with all this horsepower and torque, it still returns 24-25 miles to the gallon, which is just unheard of in a car this big. So whatever Mercedes did, their 2-ton 5.5 litre V8 monster, it's quite economical to run in terms of fuel. Let's have a look at some of the features around the outside of the car. Bearing in mind this is 2008, she's 12 years old. It has LED daylight running lights, which is unusual for 2008. It has, being a Mercedes, parking sensors all over the place, so it's very, very handy. It has folding mirrors, it has automatic wipers and automatic lights. It has, which is always handy, I do like this idea, not many cars have it these days, has a sunroof. I really like cars that have sunroofs. I think it should come as standard in every car. It adds a lot of light to a cabin, it lets a lot of air into the cabin. You don't need to run your air conditioning all the time. So that's something worth having, I think. These things came with intelligent braking assist as well. Some of them have radar guided braking systems. I don't know if it's on this particular model or not. I don't know what I'm really looking for on the front. Some cars have a little screen somewhere buried in the radiator. I don't know how Mercedes do that. It has now. Back to the days of older cars, the Nissan 350Z I had many years ago had different sized tyres on the front and on the back, and this is no different. They're both 19-inch wheels, but while they're a 245 profile on the front, they're a 275 on the back, because this is where the 400 horsepower is going to. So you've good grip going around the corners with the wider tyres, right? It does mean, however, you can't rotate your tyres. That was a problem on my old Nissan. That'll be a problem on this too. It is what it is. You get used to it, I suppose. You will notice the car is huge. It barely fits in the camera lens. It's a massive boat of a yoke. There's a large overhang on the back, and I was curious about this now when I was taking it for the test drive. I wonder what the handling would be like. The handling is brilliant. For a car this big, it sits down and takes off, and you're never worried that the back end is going to step out, because the rear tyres are 275. They're huge. Much bigger than the ones on the Jaguar I'm running. Although the Jag has 20-inch wheels, it doesn't have tyres this wide, which is interesting. We also notice there's a load of glass in this, so people in the back, and all these four windows will drop. They fold all the way down into the bodywork as though there was a door, but you'll notice it's not a door. It's only, the CL is only a two-door coupe, but there's a lot of light in the cabin, so it doesn't get dark for anybody, and there's a reasonable amount of headroom in the back for the passengers, so it's a nice place to spend time for four fully grown people. It is only 4 seats. It is not a 5-seater car, so don't make that mistake. The other thing we have, which is another thing I do like, I've said this before on Jaguars and Land Rovers, what I like is, with the key, you can open the boot by doing this. But you could, there you go, which is brilliant. So, what we have there is we have a boot that opens automatically, and this boot is massive. There's loads of room in there. I'd have to crawl into the boot to show you how big it is. The boot's huge in this, right? And underneath we have, okay, so it's, yeah, good size. The boot is absolutely huge, and what I also like about this is we have a magic red button here. When you push this, that's a nice touch. I do like that, because some people might be too short, like me, to reach that boot when it's open, and it's just hard to get to. Okay, so that's a quick intro. The 2008 CL 500. This is not the 5.5 litre V8 biturbo. This is just the 5.5 litre V8 with, as I said, 400 horsepower. A lot of horsepower in this car. I think it looks nice. I don't think it's dated at all, even though she is 12 years old. There's nice lines on the car. It handles well. It drives well. Being Mercedes, there's a lot of nice touches and a lot of new technology in the car. They had some fancy stuff back then in 2008 that a lot of people weren't doing. There's good quality leather. There's the Mercedes Command interface, of course, Bluetooth phones, LED lights, all that kind of idea. Mercedes known for their new technology. Let's have a quick look in the engine bay, because as you can see, it's quite a big engine bay. Let's have a look at the 5.5 litre V8 engine, and I will take you through some of the aspects of that engine. So we're going to look in the engine bay of the CL500. How do you open the engine bay in the CL500? Same way you open every other engine bay, really. Go to the driver's side. It's a right-hand drive car. We're filming in Ireland, right? So the automated handbrake lever is just to the right-hand side of the steering wheel. If you reach underneath that, way down in here, so I don't know if you can see this on the camera. Hi, camera land. Way in here, there's a lever. Just pull that lever, right? And you heard the thump. What's this? Back around the front. And now, to open the bonnet from here, what do you do? Sometimes you get little switches in here. We saw that before on the last Mercedes we did. In this case, it's just to the right of the badge. Put your hand in here and lift, okay? And what I like is, it isn't even gas struts. What it actually is proper hinges that just hold the whole bonnet open. That's a heavy bonnet. Now, the first thing you'll notice being a Mercedes, look at the lining on this bonnet. No wonder. I mean, it's a V8. It makes a V8 noise when you put the foot down, but you don't hear it. Look, that's really, really well lined. I'm very, very impressed. That's what you pay for with a Mercedes. So we're looking for the usual things. We're looking for oil filler cap. That's grand. Nice and easy to get to. Here's a dipstick. Very, very simple. Pull it out. That's perfectly fine. Perfectly positioned, right? Nice and simple to see. Coolant. Okay. Brake fluid, again you can see the brake fluid nice and easily. Can't see the coolant levels too easily, but I would imagine it's the same as Jaguar. We can have a look when we open it. Then we have the battery. Now unusually with the Jags, the battery is in the boot. Because this is such an enormous engine bay, Mercedes have actually put the battery right here, so that's quite easy to get to, like that. There's your washer fluid. Now that's a bit hard to find actually. I know it's blue, but this being an older engine, it's covered a few miles, so it's hard to see, but that's there, and you've no idea how much fluid is in that, so that could be easier to see, really, I would have thought. So that's a bit of a shame. But if you want to change your air filter to use a serviceable part, well, here's the air intake, which goes all the way down here, right, and across and in, and your filter is in under, so good luck. Filter's under there somewhere. So that's the engine bay for Mercedes CL500. Use the serviceable parts. Well, you can check the oil, you can top the oil, you can check the brake fluid, you can fill the water. You can change the headlights, but they're xenons and they're LED running lights, so you're not going to really be doing anything with the lights. You can actually reach them. There is room, so it's easy enough to get to, but you're not going to be doing that yourself with xenon bulbs. So all in all, yeah, you know, it's a shame that they have these plastic covers on engines, because this is a nice V8 engine. I love looking at a V8 engine. I can't see any of the cylinders at all. I can't see the V. It's all hidden under plastic. I'm a bit disappointed about that, if I'm honest, but this is not the only car with that problem. Many cars have that problem, so that's just the way it is. Okay, that's our intro to the 2008 CL500 with the big heavy bonnet. Tune into our next video, where what we'll do is we'll show you around the interior of the car. We'll take you through the various instrumentation, the new type of seats, the seat belts hanging out of the seats. There's a couple of nice things in here I want to show you in the interior, so we'll take you through that. And as always, guys, like and subscribe, and we'll bring you plenty more videos. Thanks.